All right, welcome back to my channel. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your time zone. I hope all is well with you. So there's a post that Arnold, Arnold, the exchequer himself, dropped, about the revelation, or we may say exposition of the evil Coven in Sokoto, aka Sultan of Sokoto. And before this time, Arnold on his page, he took the advertisement there. He actually announced it severally. I saw it, I think about 2-3 days ago now. He said it that he's gonna come out very soon to expose, and the revelation he's gonna drop will be bomber. He has done that, and DPM have also reacted on that. So today is a kind of exclusive message, and the revelation trending as we speak. People are paying attention to that because McArnold is somebody that every Nigerian are now taking him serious. Those who actually criticized him before, some people decided to take part because of what Reno Mokri decided to do and all that shenanigan. But he actually dealt with Reno in a different way ever since he dropped the bomber, the truth on Reno. Reno has never remained the same. I saw Reno also rushing to guns, great people. These are the attribute of the exchequer, because he readjusted Reno's attitude, and Reno has, like I said, has not remained the same. So let's start by the reaction from DPM. But before then, I expect you to like the video and share it on many platforms of your choice. Some of you watch and don't like, you don't subscribe. I don't know what is your problem. Are you anti-truth? I'm just saying, because most of us, Biafrans, Igbos are known for backing the truth. So we are going to start with that, reaction from DPM. Please give me your time as we go through everything together. As you can see on your screen now, this is from DPM Ando. She made this post today, being May 22, that's 22nd of May 2026. Press release. The dissolution of Nigerian and East politicians must happen for Christians and indigenous Nigerians to live. President Tinubu, and I hate to call him president, I'm not going to lie, but I have to read what before me. And his foreign affairs minister, Bianca, oh no, please forget about Ojukwu there. Ojukwu is exempted from this, the news as this woman is constituting. He said, reintegrate non-terrorists into Nigerian army, police, and DSS. When you see this kind of thing, whenever anybody that quote this, don't feel, oh, the person is trying to exaggerate. No. As we speak, people in Yoruba land are running. Just a couple of minutes ago, I saw a video of people running for their life. Recent attack, apart from the one of yesterday, a new one in communities and villages in Yoruba land is being ransacked. You won't see that from Sheikh. All these Rufai, Ruben Abati, they are basically crossing leg and checkmating P2B and 2027 election. Very, very foolish individual. I'm not insulting them like their personality, but what they're doing is actually foolish, like foolishness. Honestly, people don't pay attention. I think we are the one feeling the pain, reacting on this in more than some Yorubas. Some of them that are somehow incapacitated could not do anything. They're just looking and sit down. They look very unfortunate. The same Bianca Ono is propagating and lobbying the removal of Nigerian as a country of particular concern. That woman, to be honest, when but what can we do? Time will tell. The beheading of the mathematics teacher few days ago in front of his pupil in Nigeria is a direct indictment on Nigerian government and the UN secretary that approved and support their reintegration of terrorists into Nigeria, the Nigerian army, of course. Mazen Namode Kanu and PM Samanepa fought against this beheading and were framed by Bianca Ono, Tinubu, Christopher Musa, Charles Soludo, and all the politicians and Senate, those of them in Senate. None of them is exempted here as terrorists. They labeled Mazen Kanu, Simon Ekpa, as terrorists. So how can they be a terrorist when they are the one fighting against terrorism? Let's continue. Meanwhile, Nigeria and its politicians were the real terrorists. No public statement yet to condemn the beheading by Bianca Ono. Do you understand it? Even our own so-called Biafran people or Igbo people are actually indicted in this terrorism because I call them enablers. You may not. I don't want to call them terrorists. They are just terrorist enablers. Like they are the one enabling. You see, Bianca Ono, people that can sell human organ to enrich themselves. Look at the one. What is different between this Bianca Ono and a vampire? Look at a woman, not even a man. UN is accomplice to these crimes against humanity. That is another thing we need to understand, because UN is somehow backing this nonsense. You see? The Christian nations of the United States of Biafra declared on November 29, 2024, offer the new hope to Christians in that part of the world. Support the new nation. Watch video dpm.ongozi or Abeze. Now, the video you are seeing here is from Arnold, all right? And we are going to start, by going through some of the things Arnold actually posted, before this this final shot. Not final shot because he's going to drop more. So I'm going to start from here. As you can see on your screen, this is just 4 hours ago. Okay, he made this post 4 hours ago. As you can see on your screen, we are going to go through it. Then the video where he talked about the exposition of Sultan. Okay, we are going to play it as well. So in case you have not liked and shared this video, please take this opportunity and get it done. Like the video and drop your comment. Let me know what you think about everything that Makano said and what DPM said. Do you agree or disagree? Especially where she mentioned Bianca Ono. Bianca Ono is a different being, a vampire, a woman that Nnamdi wife is trying to, be like. And that is it. Those of you clapping for her, as you are seeing, if you are proud of Bianca Ono, then get ready, because you're gonna reproduce another woman in the person of in the person of what Uchechi let me just say, call her father's name, Uchechi Okafor. Okay, I don't know, but you may know better than I do. So let's continue. Mike Arnold says Sultan's master plan revealed Nigerian Christian genocide is driven by Muhammad's end-time prophecy, and it is just the beginning. An Esheka exclusive revelation plus investigation. Terrorists from around the world are flooding into Nigeria to launch Muhammad prophecy's final global jihad. 1.9 billion Muslims believe at the end of the day, the descendant of Muhammad called Mahdi, the Islamic world prophesied jihad messiah, will rise, defeat the Christian armies, and conquer the world, the whole earth for Islam. The Sokoto caliphate founded 222 years ago in northern Nigeria by blood descendant of Muhammad, was built explicitly to be the Mahdi's launcher. A blood descendant of Muhammad still sits on that throne today. Muslims around the world believe Nigeria today is the only place that meets the classical Sunni requirement for the caliphate that will host the Mahdi and launch the final jihad to conquer the world. Are you paying attention? They control Nigerian government, the schools, the military, and they are determined to bring the entire population under submission to fully Sharia law using the same tactics from two centuries: massacre, wholesale rape and destruction, kidnapping, slavery, and displacement. Since the launch of this jihad, as many as 6 million Nigerians have been killed. The genocide rains on. Do you understand? If we don't stop it, there will be. If we don't stop it, They will be fighting it in our own backyard. Read the full bombshell report. All right. So this is the the a kind of picture of what Mike Arnold was actually talking about here. Then in 5 hours ago, Mike Arnold dropped this bombshell here, which we are about to go through. All right. I'm not gonna go because we keep eyes on all this revelation and everything. Sultan Master plan revealed. So let's hear what Mike Arnold said in the video. Very, very important. Very, very important. I'm gonna start from the beginning. As you can see here.
I'm Mike Arnold. I've made 16 trips to Nigeria, to the front lines of the Christian cause. I built schools for displaced children there, and I wrote Epicenter, the best-selling book about what's happening. Here's what you must know, but nobody is telling you. When you hear it, you will not be able to look at the situation in Nigeria or global security the same way again. 14 centuries ago, Muhammad prophesied that a descendant of his bloodline, called the Mahdi, would rise at the end of days, ride west under a black banner, defeat the Christian armies in a bloody jihad, and bring the whole earth under one global caliphate. For that to happen, the doctrine says a purified Islamic platform must be ready, a launch pad. The Islamic world believes they have found it in Nigeria. In 1804, a direct blood descendant of Muhammad, named Usman Dan Fodio, launched a jihad in what is now northern Nigeria. He founded the Sokoto caliphate explicitly as the launch pad for the coming of the Mahdi. He killed as many as 250,000, displacing millions, to establish the largest pre-colonial empire in Africa. Bigger population, fearless, using the exact same tactics we see today: massacre, beheading, destruction, rape, displacement, and slavery, all while shouting Allahu Akbar. Usman Dan Fodio wrote more than 100 books. In them, he positioned himself as the Mujahideen, the renewer of his Islamic century, whose mission was to prepare the way for the coming of the Mahdi. He believed the Mahdi would appear in the caliphate he founded, and his descendants sat on the throne. In other words, he saw himself as effectively the Islamic John the Baptist, making the way for their jihad Messiah. At its peak, Dan Fodio's Sokoto caliphate held as many as 2.5 million slaves. The British never conquered the caliphate. They cut a deal, indirect rule they called it, and let the caliphate stay in power as their enforcers. The Mahdi's launch pad survived. Muhammad's bloodline kept the throne. The British forcibly chained the vibrant, largely Christian, English-speaking South to this dark, feudal caliphate. Before they granted independence in 1960, the British federalized the vast oil reserves of the South, gave full control of the new federal government to the north, and cut a sweetheart deal to keep looting the nation's black gold. In 1967, a portion of the southeast, known as Biafra, at the time the fastest growing economic region on earth, sought independence from the caliphate's genocidal grip. In response, the northern warlords enforced a total blockade, declaring starvation a legitimate tool of war. They even shot down Red Cross aid planes. With Britain's full backing, in 30 months, they starved to death some 3 million Biafrans, mainly children. The survivors were subdued, their wealth confiscated, a generation buried in mass graves, the history erased. Welcome to Nigeria, a so-called secular democracy, where today's constitution was written by an Islamic dictator and mentions Sharia law and other Islamic terms 165 times. Christianity, 0. Sitting on that caliphate throne today is Sultan Saad al-Muqtabar III, the 20th hereditary heir of Dan Fodio, and the spiritual head of West Africa's 108 million Muslims. One bloodline, Muhammad to Dan Fodio to today's Sultan. 1,400 years of prophecy, waiting. Today, Islamic fundamentalists around the world believe the moment has come. The Islamic State has declared Africa their divinely empowered land. The majority of global ISIS propaganda now comes out of Nigeria. Foreign fighters from the Middle East, North Africa, the Sahel, and Europe are streaming as religious pilgrims, not immigrants. They believe this is where Allah has called them to die for the fulfillment of Muhammad's prophecy. Sheikh Zakzaki is founder of the Islamic movement of Nigeria, an Iran proxy with 3 million members across Nigeria. His organization has an armed wing, documented weapons caches, and a history of mass mobilization. In February 2026, speaking in Nigeria's capital of Abuja, he declared, quote, "We are not merely waiting for the reappearance of the Imam Mahdi so that we may follow him afterwards. We are his followers today. He is our global leader, and the affairs of the Ummah," that's the global Muslim community, are already under his guidance. He also said, "Readiness before the reappearance is one of the central missions of the followers of the Imam Mahdi." Leading Islamic nations are actively helping build the Mahdi's launchpad in Nigeria today. Turkey just signed a major deal with President Bola Tinubu to train Nigerian troops using a group whose stated mission is to, quote, "pave the way for the long-awaited Mahdi by helping the Islamic world achieve military superpower status." Iran, whose entire regime exists to hasten the Mahdi, has helped build Zakzaki's massive Islamic movement in Nigeria. Saudi Arabia spent decades building the Darkne pipeline that birthed Boko Haram, and Qatar is the banker. The movement's toll is staggering. Since the founding of the caliphate, the start of this jihad, as many as 6 million Nigerians dead, 10 million enslaved, 25 million displaced. Since 2009, more than 125,000 Christians slaughtered, along with 60,000 peaceful Muslims who refused to join the jihad, according to Nigeria's human rights group, Innocence Life. More than 20,000 churches destroyed. Today, 80% of all Christians killed worldwide for their faith are killed in Nigeria, most by jihadis from the same tribe, same caliphate, same prophecy, using the exact same tactics Dan Fodio used 222 years ago. Allahu Akbar. Christians killed worldwide for their faith are killed in Nigeria, most by jihadis from the same tribe, same caliphate, same prophecy, using the exact same tactics Dan Fodio used 222 years ago. Allahu Akbar. This is the longest running and longest active genocide on earth, a hidden Holocaust. Today in Nigeria, college girls are burned to death for praising Jesus on WhatsApp, and nobody is punished. Farmers are sentenced to death for defending themselves against terrorists. The Chinese are looting vast amounts of blood minerals and funding the jihad groups to clear the land, bribing the military and political leaders to look the other way. A prisoner of conscience named Nnamdi Kanu is serving a life sentence in Sokoto prison for truth spoken, illegally abducted from another country and convicted under a law no longer on the books. Youth are executed in the street by federal police. Influencers who speak the truth are taken, tortured, and disappeared. Thousands of men, women, and children are abducted, held in what can only be called concentration camps, many tortured and killed in sophisticated kidnapping schemes pioneered by Boko Haram. Nigeria's 50 million school children are today being forcibly indoctrinated by the government. The man in control of the nation's curriculum, from preschool through college, is the world's leading expert on the Islamization of knowledge, and he considers it an intellectual jihad. As many as 10 to 12 million peaceful and productive Nigerians have been forced from their ancestral lands, living and dying in the most horrible conditions imaginable, denied recognition and aid by the government. Without intervention, it is expected that as many as 50% will be radicalized in the next few years. That's 5 to 6 million more jihadis. At the same time, the government gives captured terrorists room, board, and free classes, then releases them back to the community and rehabilitated. Many are even given government jobs. Statistics show most are likely to go right back into killing. On May 16th, President Trump killed the world's #2 ISIS commander in a strike on his compound in Nigeria. Nigeria's government had given this terrorist cover officially by declaring him dead 2 years ago. But strikes alone will not stop what the jihadis believe is the fulfillment of a 1,400-year-old prophecy. The caliphate has a 222-year head start. They are hijacking the nation's inevitable rise, on track to become the third most populous nation on earth by 2050, a top 5 oil producer with $1 trillion in mineral reserves, making more movies than Hollywood and dominating the streaming charts. They see Nigeria today as the greatest platform in history for the Mahdi to finally come and conquer the world. President Trump, you must act now. You have rightly called radical Islamic Jihad the greatest threat to our national security. Nigeria is the epicenter. You must know that working with the Nigerian government to end this genocide is like working with the Third Reich to end the Holocaust. You cannot stop this with sanctions. Jihadis are prepared to die for their cause. And China is more than happy to backfill any economic loss we impose on Tinubu's regime. Nigerian officials are today disarming and prosecuting defenders while arming the terrorists. They are rewarding captured terrorists while smothering millions of innocent displaced victims. They are violently suppressing truth speakers and spending millions to put this threat to our national security. Nigeria is the epicenter. You must know, working with the Nigerian government to end this genocide is like working with the Third Reich to end the Holocaust. You cannot stop this with sanctions. Jihadis are prepared to die for their cause. And China is more than happy to backfill any economic loss we impose on Tinubu's regime. Nigerian officials are today disarming and prosecuting defenders while arming the terrorists. They are rewarding captured terrorists while smothering millions of innocent displaced victims. They are violently suppressing truth speakers and spending millions to propagate lies in Washington. Top Tinubu administration officials have recently called the killers brothers and prodigal sons who deserve to be rehabilitated. The radicals have fully hijacked the school system with the philosophy of Boko Haram. As you have found in Iran, you cannot simply negotiate or partner with people who believe Allah has called them to fulfill a 1,400-year-old prophecy. And that is exactly what you are facing in Nigeria. But I believe you can flip Nigeria without a war. The people of Nigeria are incredible. They have unlimited potential. They rise to the top wherever they go in the world. Give them the chance to do that at home, and they will build an amazing nation, a real Wakanda, and America's greatest ally in Africa, a lighthouse of freedom in a dark part of the world. Just watch. President Tinubu is guilty of genocide today for his denial of recognition and aid to the displaced citizens. Indict him, arrest him. The Sokoto caliphate must be investigated as a terrorist sponsor and dealt with accordingly. 2 centuries of history and overwhelming evidence demand it. Keep striking the terrorists, and you must know the Fulani militia are killing most of the Christians today, not ISIS. Hit them too, take them all out. Conduct a full census of the displaced, interview them. They are eyewitnesses to genocide, and help coordinate the international aid they desperately need. Finally, ensure a free and fair referendum for a new constitution written by and for the people. Allow them to determine their own boundaries and watch them rise. Islamic jihadists today are finally recognized as the greatest threat to global security. Today, the Sokoto Caliphate in Nigeria is the only throne in the world that meets the classical Sunni requirements for a legitimate caliphate. And it was built explicitly to be the platform for the prophesied Mahdi, the launch pad for the final jihad to conquer the world. This is the epicenter. If we do not fight this fight in Nigeria today, we will fight it here in our own backyard tomorrow.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much, Mike Arnold. God bless you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is wonderful. I have to also appreciate DPM for, for keeping it real, for putting it the way it's supposed to be, and backing this speech of Mike Arnold, because she retweeted in agreement with what Mike Arnold said. I don't know if you noticed when, at any part of the video, what Mike Arnold said about Trump, American president. You better do all you can now to save Christians by helping Christians to form their own nation, have their own nation, and that will be the greatest ally of America in Africa. Believe you me, Biafra land is our land. And for those of you that think, oh, Biafra is about Igbo, it's not about Igbo. If Benue people want to join, they will join. As long as we are not going to bring people that are loyal to caliphate. Let it be clear that is not talking when you talk about Biafran freedom, it's for freedom for all. Even the neutral, relaxed Muslim nation, Muslim community or individuals, you can form your own nation. Please don't join Biafra, because I don't believe there's anything like, understandable Islam. Today you're understandable, tomorrow you may be radical. And that's why personally I don't need that. This is my own opinion. I don't speak for Biafrans. So when you want to hear what Biafra says, contact the leaders. They will tell you. Whatever I'm saying here is my personal opinion. Okay? For those of you that may think, oh, Biafra said, this is caliphate said, not Biafrans. I don't represent Biafrans. What I'm doing here is preaching the truth and pouring my mind. What I feel that is good. I'm not concluding, because I'm not leading. I'm not in the government. Like I'm not the leaders in the government. I'm not a DPM, neither am I Milke, Namadikano, or Amadike 1, or 2. I'm not talking about Major Buago. I'm not representing Major Buago, Simon Ekpa, and Jogo. All these three, you see all these people, that including our own brother from another mother, Mike Arnold. These are people that God will keep for humanity. I don't want to say much. I just want to appreciate them for what they're doing and what they've done. And you watching, you can do better by sharing and liking this video. God bless you as do so. Please keep your eyes on the channel and let's, see if how far we can go. All I want you to do is to keep on supporting the truth. It's not going to cost you anything. Rather, it will actually help you in a way that you may not understand. But you appreciate it at the end of the day, though. Truth is always, green. Always, always, always green. Please like the video and share it. Subscribe to the channel. See you again. God bless you all. Bye-bye for now.